Hey, this is Justin with daytradethemarkets.com and dailymarketassistant.com. On February 3rd, we had some huge moves today in the index markets, gold, bonds, and I wanted to look at those in particular and talk about some evidence that things were going according to plan, and some evidence that things were. It looks like we were having a nice trend or a nice down day in some of these index markets. Wanted to look at the same thing in the bonds and look at a really good breakout type of a trade in the bonds. Wanted to show you what I consider my favorite trade in came up in the E-mini S&P and the Russell today. And then wanted to look at the gold and how things kind of shifted and how you could be aware of that. So a lot to talk about today. So let's get to it. Here is the E-mini S&P. I'm just going to show 2-minute charts and everything just for the sake of continuity. But know that you can certainly use any time. This is again E-mini S&P 2-minute chart. You can use this on any time frame. From micro time frames to swing trading time frames. But heading into the day, we have a bias where our bigger picture is down. So just as a little bit of a recap, we like to look at various pieces of market evidence, starting with our bigger picture bias and bigger picture key levels, which, just as an aside, if you're not familiar yet, you can go to this site, Daily Market Assistant, and there's actually a free trial, dailymarketassistant.com, where we talk about all these different key levels and bigger picture bias. But the idea here is we've got these bigger picture key levels and bigger picture bias, and if the market fits into that pattern, then we want to really, or not, then we want to focus in on these real-time order flow driven, as well as some other things, order flow driven, velocity driven, range analysis that we do that shows what's going on in real time. So we look at these relative aggression bars in real time to see which side is really in control of the market, because again, the market moves only when one side is more aggressive than the other. And what these bars are doing, especially these level 2 are strong and these level 3 are extreme bars, is they're showing that under the surface in real time, are buyers coming in extremely hard or are sellers coming in extremely hard, and is there follow through or is there rejection? And with that information, we get a very strong handle on what's going on in the market. It's kind of a roadmap short term compared to this Daily Market Assistant, which is our roadmap long term. So you put those things together, you increase your edge. Okay, so with that said, we've got the ES today. Heading into the day, we wanted to, our bias was down certainly, and we wanted to monitor the markets where I've got these blue lines drawn. And you can see that early on in the day, our first major structure was this high velocity move box and this level 3 selling aggression bar. So it's with our bias, we get a level 3 selling aggression bar. Whenever we get one of these, we want to ask ourselves, can the high of this hold, especially early on in the move, and do we get some follow through lower? Here's another one. We get through this level. Can the high of it hold, and can get the low taken out? Here is an example of what I consider my favorite trade, which is what I call the sweet spot trade, where you've got 2 of these level 3 bars in a row, right, one after the other. Okay, so this is showing you we're making new lows. We have a down bias. Our filter is strongly bearish. We've got a level 3 or extreme selling aggression bar. Followed, not only do we get follow through, but we have follow through with another level 3 selling aggression bar. So that's telling us there's some extreme selling coming into this market. Now, the one caveat in this case is that we were also looking at this area between 57 and 61 as a potential level. And you can see the market did find a little support there for a bit, but there's so much downward pressure in this market that the sweet spot idea is, if you look at the area where these 2 level 3 bars overlap, that's just usually a beautiful place to be entering a trade that can be a pretty strong trade. So again, heading into the day, our bias is down. So our bigger picture roadmap bias is down. And then our shorter term roadmap, in terms of these level 3 especially bars, are showing us that sellers are really in control of this market. Again, can the high of this hold? Can the high of this hold? Now we start to see a little buying come in here, but that's taken out later in the day, right? So it just keeps selling off in the direction of what we would expect. Okay, so that's the E-mini S&P, but hopefully you get the idea of bigger picture roadmap, combine that with the shorter term roadmap, or you can have your own way of doing a bigger picture analysis and look at this software as a decision aid, or you could use your own decision aid and use a bigger picture analysis that we provide. It's really up to you. It's all about just increasing your edge. This is not something that's magical. It's just about giving you better information, and the more good information you have, the better decisions that you can make. Obviously, the better decisions you can make, the better results you can get. So that's the idea here. Nothing magical, just good, solid information that's going to help you. So that's the E-mini. Now let's look at the Russell. Again, 2-minute chart. Same idea. Heading into the day, our bigger picture bias is down. We wanted to monitor the market at these levels that I'm drawing here, see how the market reacts. So in other words, it doesn't mean these are going to be the high or low of the day. It's just we want to see can the market, will bulls or bears win these levels. That's giving us a pretty good idea of, are we going to go down to the next level, or are we going to retest the previous level? So again, and this is a case where the bigger picture bias is down. We start off with a test of this level, a rejection of our first buying structure here. We get some strong selling structure, so we ask ourselves, can we get follow through, and can the high of this bar hold? Yes, yes. Here's another case. Now here's another case of this. This is actually a little bit better setup because we're right below this next level here around 11.15, and we get that sweet spot idea. Again, where two level 3 bars overlap right here. You can see where they overlap right here. We take that over. Beautiful entry. Again, but that's also because it's with our filter. It's with the bigger picture bias being down. It's utilizing this key level as now resistance, now that we're below it. Sweet spot idea. There's a lot going for us there. The market even decelerated nicely for us with that. These are what we call decelerations. So again, a lot of things coming together. You can see a nice sell-off in the Russell. Here's the NASDAQ, another big sell-off here in the NASDAQ. You can see again, look at these key levels. We get through them on really strong selling, and it just, away she goes. Let's look at the YM, mini Dow, same idea. You can see, it's not a surprise these index markets look similar, but you can see bigger picture bias is down. We're getting confirmation of that with this extreme selling that's coming into the market, and away she goes. Here's another market that had a big move. This is the 30-year, again, 2-minute market, and this, heading into the day, our bigger picture bias was up. And if we could get below 33.12 here, that would shift to down. But you can see we didn't. We came in there. And also in our report that we did on our daily market assistant, we said if we could get above 33.25, it could be a nice go with type of a situation. And you can see that's really what kind of happened. We got above this first level, came back and tested it, poked our head up around 25, and then broke through that level, headed up here toward the 11. So, it's just a really nice situation where it stayed in line with our bias, and we got some really strong buying aggression here with this high velocity move, level 3 bars, came back up here, got above our support zone, came back and tested it, away she went. So another really strong market, this time the bonds. But again, you're using the bigger picture roadmap along with the shorter term roadmap to help you see what's going on and help you see which side's in control of the market. Now, I also wanted to show gold because this is a situation where things didn't go according to plan. Heading into the day, we were thinking our bigger picture bias was more down. However, we always want to plan for the what-ifs. So our what-if was if we could get above 1246, this is a situation where our bias would go from being down to being more an upward bias. And you can see we open above there, we test into it, decelerate, can't get any acceptance below it, and then away she goes. Here's another case where you've got the sweet spot idea here with two level 3 bars in a row. And here's that sweet spot area idea again here with the two level 3 bars in the direction of the bias right in here. So where they overlap is, wrong thing. Where they overlap is right in here. You can see this bled over a little bit, but it certainly stayed below the green support zone there and had this huge move higher. There was another one. We didn't test back down there in the RTH in the regular trading hours, but right in here around 1254, 1255. So that'll be interesting to watch if that 1254, 1255 can act as some support in the overnight session as well as into tomorrow. So again, idea here is just looking at. I wanted to show you that trade that I really like is that level. That sweet spot trade where these level 3 bars overlap on various markets. They happen today on this nice move on some of these index markets, and talk about how you can look at the bigger picture biases roadmap as well as the intra-day structure roadmap and help you make better decisions. So let us know any questions you have on that, and we'll talk soon.